So as I open up my sketchbook, this sketchbook was from my 2022 capstone project. It started out, this was my tester piece, this first one that I flip. Um, the second one that I did is called Disassociative. And this was the first piece in my series of my research about emotion and self. As you can see, I did a lot of cutout and collage. This one is called Empty. I tried to use recycled materials in this one. The middle, it's supposed to be like a spiral, and then, we go forward. So this third one is called Overwhelming Love. And funnily enough, I had just gotten my cat that day, and I had never been a cat person. This one I really enjoy. It's called The Pressure of Sadness. There's a lot of cut paper. There's a black background. I kind of trace circles and go around them. Reminds me of moons, and it says "Save Me" in letters that I cut out from magazines. This one is called The Complexity of Butterflies. I actually was flipping through Nat Geos because that's what art teachers have, and I found these really cool facts about butterflies, and there's like a black market for butterflies, which I had no idea, which was incredibly interesting. This one is untitled, but it took a long time cutting out that word disassociative and making it backwards. This is called The Frustration of Being Lonely. If you look closely, you can see that there's an outline of an orange cat at the bottom who is sleeping. This one is called Finding Time. I didn't really like this one, but I did like some of the elements from it. So this one is called P.S. I Hope You Find the Love. This was the day I found out that one of my students had passed, and one of the days that I couldn't shake the sadness, no matter how hard I had tried. This is where my art kind of took a turn. There is not a title on it, but just looking at it now without reading my notes, I can tell that there was a shift for me. And this is really evident in this piece, the shift. This is called The Landfill of Stars, and one of my prompts was to have to use yarn in my work. And I didn't really know how I was going to do that, but I really like Zentangles, so I kind of tried it out. This is called Path. It is a self-portrait piece, and it's about kind of following the love. This is called Shamed. It's about feeling shame and how that feels, whether you are shaming someone else or you feel shame. This is called I Am All the Best Things About My Mother. And this is a portrait that I did of myself, but it's also including my family and my mom. This one is called Balance, and I really enjoy this piece. I used some cut brown paper bags as well as Posca markers, acrylic printmaking techniques. This is called On the Verge but Still Trying. Now this piece was really interesting. I made it into a brain, and I started discovering and exploring what and where the brain held all of our emotions. This is called Please Stop. And I drew my hands, but I really like the way that the perspective I chose to do it in. This one is called Bipolar as an Outsider, and it's kind of about being an outsider of someone I love who has bipolar and looking at them from the outside and figuring them out and loving them anyway. And then this final one is called I Am God Occasionally. And it says artists are discovered at the end of their journey. But the whole point of being an artist is to enjoy and go through the process. The next one is this fish one. I didn't really love this one, but something I say to my students and remind myself is that you have to make bad art. Then I started doing this 365 project, which I didn't complete, though I did make art every day. I wanted to do prompts, and this first one was Jasmine, followed by Polar Bear. I really like this one because it shows my sense of humor and my use of color, and it's can you recognize the show it was from? This was Hot Chocolate. As you can see, I was in a Christmas mood, one of my favorite Christmas movies. The next one is called Snowdrop. And I was telling my dad about them, and my dad said my grandmother grew these outside of her front window, and that's what they remind him of. This one I really like. It's kind of a take on the wave and also a Maine lighthouse, and it's called Waves, and waves in Maine always remind me of my dad. This one is called Sled, or Jet on a Sled, and this is my best friend and partner showing Sunsquatch those heat pumps that he installed. This is called Muskox, and it's just some muskoxes kind of looking at us. I really like the color, complementary there. This is called Glacier, and it's a weird landscape of Glacier National Park. My brother-in-law actually went there and inspired me to look at this place, and it's just gorgeous. This one is called Branches, and these are crabapple branches, and I really like the side over there where you can't really tell, but I blocked off in white on the right over there. Now this one I painted upside down on accident because my book is a square and it just looks the same. This is called Husky, and I did this on January 10th of last year, 2023. This is called Monkey, and it's based on the monkey selfie lawsuit. This is called Fireplace, and this is actually my fire pit. And I made that fireplace with my husband at our camp up in northern Maine. This is called Alps. To my children and my students, the world is a more beautiful place when everyone can be who they are in safety. This one is titled Camellia, and I really didn't love this one. It reminded me of like a granny wallpaper. Some people really did like it, and it's where I used white kind of as an outline. And then I continued using white as an outline, as you can see. This is called Bat and Robin. The prompt was Robin for that month, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I really like the background. This is called Igloo. My character in Dungeons and Dragons, Sparks, she cast a wand of magnificent mansion, and this is Sparks, Amphora, and Locag, and a sleeping Leonard with their igloo. Then you can see that I did a blue jay, black-capped chickadee, downy woodpecker, cardinal, American robin, and American goldfinch. Feather was the prompt, and these are all birds of Maine. Then I did one called Skiing, and self-explanatory, right? Really like the blockiness. This one is called Cobblestone, and this is the Gemstone Bridge, aka the Gem Cutters Bridge, aka Sparks's Bridge, who you saw from my D&D character before. Here are a couple sketches where I was messing around with color and ideas. I do not have a lot of sketchbooks like this, and one thing I'd like to do is try and show you some more sketches, which means I have to make more sketches, which means I have to make more art that I don't love. This is called The Comforter, and this is my partner and our son when he was just a wee guy. And look at all those rectangles and boxes. This is called Ornamental Kale. Actually, the prompt was Ornamental Kale, and the title was Everything That Glitters is Ornamental Kale. This is one of my favorites of this whole sketchbook. It's called Owls of Maine. We have a barn owl, a screech owl, a barred owl, a great horned owl, and a snowy owl. And then another D&D inspired is Snowshoe, and this was his third birthday. My son, Ezrin, his third birthday request was a family of snow owl bears. You can see that my sketchbook is getting close to the end. The prompt was Dalmatian. This is the first and only Dalmatian I've ever done so far as of May 30th, 2024. I used Posca pens and acrylic paint. This was called Soup, and this is my favorite chicken tortilla soup recipe, and you're welcome for that. It was really fun. I would like to do more like this. Who knows? This is called River, and this is my student Brandon, who passed, and his best friend Izzy, who's also my student, and happy birthday, B-Boy. This is called Icicle, the prompt was Icicle, and the title is The Sun Continues. Piece from the day before about my student was challenging. This is called Pine Cone. Chickadees, and I'm from Maine, and our state flower is the pine cone. This is called Fox. It is made with Posca markers and acrylic, like fluid paint. I did a bunch of foxes, kind of sketchy looking, just messing around with different colors. Really, really like the big block of blue shadow. This is called Dragon Fruit, which dragon fruit is incredibly pretty. I used to live in Hawaii, and like we have lots of tropical fruit like this available a lot of the time. And this is actually my last one, and it's called Third Wheel. This is a razorbill penguin. We have these in Maine, which is fun that I learned this while making art. Like the last 3 pages blank. I don't know if I'll ever fill them up, but would love your comments on this video. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, what you'd like to see again or learn more about. If you have questions about my art or any of the pieces that you saw, please leave me a question or comment below, and I will try my best to answer it. YouTube is still pretty new for me, so bear with me as I figure this all out. Thanks, friends, and tune in next week for another video of who knows what. Bye!